Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. This is the update, which is long overdue, but there you go. There's been a few things going on. I had to take a step back, but I'm planning on taking 2 steps forward, so it shouldn't be too much heartache. But the step back was a couple of weeks ago. I had to pull out of a competition. A relative of mine was due to be undergoing surgery. Quite serious, involved, opening up and taking things away. So it was playing on my mind quite a bit. I carried on training on the build up for it, everything. I thought, it should be right. Person in question, relatively fit and healthy all their life, so it should be alright. But it was playing on my mind a lot. It was affecting my training. It was just one thing that was against the concept of competing on that day. So unfortunately I had to pull out of that one myself, because I knew in my mind I wouldn't be able to be giving out 100% on the day. So obviously that's the thing everyone has to take into account with any form of physical training. I would say the reason why specifically with strength-based training is because you're more often than not putting quite an excessive amount of force on your body. You're either lifting something which is a lot heavier than you would normally lift in your day-to-day life, or you're trying to put something over your head which is a lot heavier than you know. Basically, you're doing things you've no real need to do in terms of the weight that you're moving. So with lapses in concentration, you can get injured quite easily. So the good news is that operation has since been and gone, and his feet fitting well. So that's good. That is a pressure off my mind now. So that's not gonna won't be affecting me training too much. So I'm all looking forward and set for the new competition coming up in October. I'll do another video about that later, but I'll forget the details for it. What I can remember is it's in October. It's either going to be in Folkestone or Hythe, depending on the venue. Obviously, being around autumn, winterish time, and being in the UK, it could well be raining on the day of that competition. So that's that. That's what I've been doing. The step back was having to pull out of the competition. The 2 steps forward is what I plan to do in the next competition. One thing about this next competition is there's 4 categories: 2 women's, 2 males, and with the 2 male categories there's an under 100 kilo class and an over 100 kilo class. I weigh in at about 80 at the moment, so I could well be potentially one of the lightest ones in the group that I'm competing in with, which is okay, because I've looked at the weights for the events and I reckon I can not zero any of them, although one of them there is a throwing event which has got me a little bit worried. Competition I done, well, the only one so far, there was a sandbag throwing event there. It was for a 4 meter height. The height in this one is 3.6 meters. Now I looked at some photos looking back. If you go onto my Instagram page, you can see them as well. Just scroll through them, you'll find them. I'll put them all up there. And I think I got maybe half a meter from the top of the height that I had to throw the bag over. So not sure entirely how I'm going to pull it off yet, but I'm tempted to buy a couple of lengths of timber and try and build my own height thing to throw over, which is going to be a bit awkward, but it may well be the only way I can actually properly train the event. I was doing kettlebell swings, explosive swings, that was how I was training for that on the previous competition. So I think it's going to be much more beneficial for me if I can actually properly practice the event itself. So I have to look into buying myself a sandbag, and like I say, a couple of bits of plywood. I've got an idea. It might be a tricky one to pull off, but it's going to be worth a go, and it's going to happen because, like I say, I do want to actually try and have an idea of where I could possibly go with sandbag throwing. I cannot remember all the other events off the top of my head. I know there's a Hummer tire deadlift. Weight on that. Again, I can't remember these off the top of my head, but I was quietly confident I'll get a couple of reps at least. There's an overhead medley, which is axle, floor to overhead, double hex, floor to overhead, and then it finishes off with log, and you can carry on repping out at the once you've done the log, you can carry on repping out on that. So that's the first event, I remember that. There's the Hummer tire, I remember that. There's the sandbag toss, I remember that. And I think I actually remember the fourth as well. It's a sandbag steeplechase into power stairs. And then there is a fifth event, which is a mystery event. So sort of something to keep us all on our toes there. There's been no inklings, no clues as to what it may be. It's just something else to work on. I don't know. Maybe it's stones. I don't know. It's something different. So yeah, so those are the events. I've actually reeled them off now. I finally remembered them. As I say, I may well be one of the lighter ones there because there's no way I can healthily get to about 99 kilos in the next couple of months. So, because I don't mind packing on weight, but it's really important for me to remain healthy as well, because I want to be able to move things, I want to be able to pick things up, but I want to be able to run as well. You know, I've mentioned them before. I have got 4 kids, and while a couple of them aren't really much for going out anymore, my boys are getting older. They're very much sitting in, unfortunately. But that said, they still go out on the trampoline, have crazy days. My girls still like to go out and about and maybe have a little run around. So I want to be able to keep fit and healthy as well as strong. So is that too much to ask? Is it too much to ask? No. It might sound like a lot, but you just got to work hard and you will get there. Right. The final hot topic now is iron grit strength. What is that? Okay, I have a plan in the future, and it's a big future plan because it's all money. Everything's money, of course. And I've mentioned it before, and what I would love to do is open a gym. The only thing is, why can't I just go ahead and commit and do it? Because I have got 4 kids to support. So I've got to, you know, I'm not rich. I've got to keep money lined up. I've got to always make sure that they're covered before I can think about following dreams for me. So, mind you, you never know. One little small windfall and I'll get on it. But yeah, Iron Grit Strength would essentially be the name of the gym. But it's also, what I'm also doing, I'm taking the name, as well as the gym. I'm now using it as a brand name for my strength coaching. Because Paul Highly Lifts, I mean, I put up a little video of this on Instagram. It's basic, it's factual, it's what it is. You know, I am Paul Highly and I do lift. So that's pretty much as it goes. However, I would be it would be fair to say that as far as in terms of a brand name would go, or the meanings behind it, I wanted something with a bit of teeth. I wanted something that sounded a little bit like, okay, that's what we're here to do then. So that's why I went with Iron Grit Strength. So if you hop over to the website's still the same title. It's still Paul Hiley Lifts. That's still the website. But in terms of the strength coaching now, we have got a new name for it, and yeah, Iron Grit Strength. We go with that. So right, as far as I'm aware, that is just about everything. Training. I'm going through a phase building session program at the moment, because in a couple of weeks I'm off to Southampton for a week. So I figured I'd do a few weeks of like phase building on the base and stuff, and then when I come back from Southampton, I'll have about 6 or 7 weeks, I think, and I've written up a program for that, for the next competition, which I think is AGF Strongest, something like that. What I'll do, if you're in the description, before I upload, in the description I'll have the title of the competition, because yeah, top of my head I've just forgotten it. Right, so there we go. Had to take a step back. I've taken a couple of steps forward. New competition coming up. Be aware, just because you're going into a beginner's comp, that doesn't necessarily mean everyone in there will be lightweight, right? So if you wanted to first comp to be something where you feel a bit more on an even level, let's say, just check in the description to see if it's a beginner's under 80, under 90, under 105, whatever weight you are currently at. Whereas me, at 80 kilos, I was probably maybe I was lighter than a few blokes that were at the other competition I went to, and this other one, under 100. Jesus. If everyone else going there is like 90, 95, maybe 99 kilos, I am going to show. I am going to stand out. So yeah, so that was that. And then the other one, Iron Grit Strength. What is it about? Well, you know what it's about. It's about getting stronger. But as I say, while that is the main chunk, and if that is what you want to do, then that is what we will focus on, getting you stronger. However, I will always sing the praises of keeping yourself fit and healthy as well, because you can be the strongest person in the life for, say, pulling a truck or something. Obviously mass moves mass, and that is a case where you're going to want to be a little bit heavier because you're pulling a truck. But I just feel it's nice to be able to, let's say you missed your bus, let's say you left your shopping on a bus, it'd be nice to be able to run after that bus. I did that once. I did run after a bus once. I'm not saying I caught up with it, but I followed its route, because I knew where it turned. It turned around a university and then headed back, so I sprinted all the way after it, and yeah, caught up with it on the way back. So that was a few years ago, but I was in the right place there. How's my fitness levels now? They're not bad. I don't think. I think I've balanced it out pretty well, because like I say, I was lighter, strongish. You know, I'm thinking of the lifts. I was probably deadlifting maybe double my body weight, squatting in 110, 120, maybe. This was a long bloody time ago. I only had 3 kids then, so this is probably going back 7 years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters was, though, I was very fit, and I was still doing strength training. So I was definitely not weak, but I was very fit with it as well. I did lose a lot of my fitness. I was focusing on strength stuff, and I tried to chase down a bus. I think it was a couple of Christmases ago, and I couldn't, and I was really gutted because that was on a straight level. The one that I caught up with was uphill. I was well chuffed with myself then. But yeah, as I say, this was like a couple of Christmases ago, and I tried it. I was like puffing and panting halfway around after I'd only done maybe like a minute of a sprint, and I was like, oh, and I was like, I don't like that. That's not nice. So yeah, I've got the fitness levels back up as well. So yeah, there we go. Check over to the website www.paulhollylifts.co.uk. If you go into the shop section, that is where the coaching is. There is some like cookie cutter programs that are already there. They are still available. However, if it is one-to-one tuition, essentially coaching, tuition, the same sort of similar-ish thing, but we'll go with coaching. If you want to follow some one-to-one coaching and you're on the hunt, then you could do a lot worse than me. Right, there we go. That's it. That's everything that's done. I've got to go and do other things. So, as always, keep strong, keep happy, keep healthy, and I'll speak to you all later. Ta-ra.